Hashtag no music, no intro. Saints Block Party podcast live show with our dude himself, Joey
Yo,
P. Jesus Plague himself, one of like the pillars of the Saints Block Party podcast community, one of the pillars in our
Pillars.
Discord when we're building it up, one of the fucking coolest dudes you will ever. Oh, I can't say I can't cuss early in the stream. I apologize. One of the coolest dudes you will ever meet in your life coming at you. We had to get our dude on the show for this live stream, live show. If you're watching this, like and subscribe. If you're a Patreon, if you missed this show, it will be available on Patreon as a podcast. If you're not a Patreon, you'd have to watch the YouTube to see this episode. Is only going to be a live show if you're not a Patreon. What's good, my man?
what's good, bro?
Living your best life, bro. That's all you're doing.
That's it. Vibing, doing pods at 10 p.m. on a work night.
Man,
Gotta hold it
Joey
down though.
Bricks, one of the founding fathers of the Saints Block Party / Saints Twitter podcast, Patreon fandom,
Real,
fan community.
Day
He
one
part of
shit.
the
real,
day one.
real.
Day one
We
ish,
might have
my bad.
might have to talk about how your security presence has declined from year to year. But
I mean, the community's growing, man. I'm still doing my job. It just may not seem like it because there's so many people every year,
Just letting all kind of people in, bro.
Yeah.
so many people were in the tent to last me up, bro. I was like, "Where's Joey? Where's he at?"
I was vibing.
Yeah, that's a word.
I was
for you.
outside the tent doing security.
Like, what's this?
And there's
dude
only
name?
one of me, and there was two sides of the tent. I'm just saying.
The back had a wall, Joey. What are you talking about?
No, the side didn't.
No, you're right. The side did not.
I know I'm
did
right
not.
because I was doing security.
I just saying the Joey at the draft party, the last that security Joey was top notch.
It was him and dudes up.
Yeah.
What's your Patreon?
I mean, I'm
What's
just
your
trying to get
email,
you new
bro?
Patreons. I'm just trying to get you new. Yeah. I mean, come on.
$1 a
Love
month,
it.
brother. $1 a month.
That's it. That is it. We don't know when we have a lot to talk about, but not really. But this is the week that has started the Saints restructure, going
Kick
crazy,
that can,
restructuring,
baby.
kicking it, just kick.
Can, baby.
Who else? It's been McCoy, it's been Carr, Cesar
Shepard.
Reese, Nathan Shepard. Just
Looks like I forgot
But
about
a
Nate
big-
Shepard. I was like, oh.
I think the
Yeah,
team may
forgot
have
he was
too.
on the team.
But a big thing is the huge jump in the salary cap that the NFL got across all teams due to that layaway COVID money that came out of nowhere.
Ooh. That
Kai
Taylor
said
Swift
that
money,
tax
boy.
return hit.
Yeah, the tax return,
Is that what it is?
boy.
Man's about to spend.
That earned income, that child credit, boy. Yeah.
It's only $2,000. It's only $2,000, but when it hits, it hits well.
I wish.
Kai money?
I wish. Oh yeah, Kai money. You know, Kai has that like exponential effect to it. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I wonder, something I do wonder though, is that usually every team has an idea of what the salary cap is going to be. So I wonder how much this maybe took them by surprise, or if it took them by surprise at all. But if it did, I wonder if that potentially now changes the offseason plans of the Saints maybe a bit, in terms of they feel like they might have a little more flexibility, a little more spending power that they didn't have before that huge increase in jump happened.
I don't
So
know.
I think they were gonna whatever their plan is their plan. Like I don't think there's any moves they were gonna make that this increase is gonna impact those plans at all.
Right.
Do you see it as like maybe something where like you're expecting to get like a certain number with your tax return, and then like that number is higher, and you're like, okay, well now I got this amount. Maybe I'll buy a little something extra that maybe I wasn't thinking about buying beforehand.
Yeah, but so going to what we're gonna talk about maybe Ryan's gonna bring it up, but getting into it on Twitter X with all the cap heads,
Oh my god.
it's
Oh,
like
Oh my god.
the way I feel
Oh my
about
God.
it. Like I don't care about any of that because I've never had an off season where the team didn't at least try to do what they wanted to do. You know what I
Right.
mean? So like
you grew up in
I
this
just
shit,
don't
man. Like,
think, yeah, I don't think it's going to be a situation where they're like, oh shit, now we could go after like the top of the market. Like if they wanted to do that, they would have found a way to do it.
it's like
So
Right.
motherfucker, we came up having like no cap space and paying Jarius Byrd the biggest safety contract in NFL history. Like,
right, and it was fine. Like we're still
right,
doing the same thing.
we're okay.
So
We're not out of business. They're not, putting boards up on airline and saying liquidation now and all that stuff, and none of that's happening. Like, bro, that
no,
shit drive me. I was trying to figure out why it annoys me so much. Because I figured out what annoys me. It's because I think, especially like the national media, they'll
Yes.
see me defending their move and they'll just look at me like, oh, it's just a Saints fan just being a homer defending his team. When it's not that. It's like I
Right.
actually want y'all to actually be critical of my team. I want y'all to be
yeah,
critical of my team.
Please.
But y'all are critical on the wrong thing. Like the
Wrong.
one
Come on,
thing,
bro.
exactly.
the one thing you could beat the Saints up on when you should be giving them props the way they just maximize what they could do with the salary cap every year. You know what I'm saying? Like
Every year,
they
man. Yep.
maximize
Every
every
year.
year, maximize, and they go. And as a fan of a team, that's what you want, man. And
You
people
can't
out
ask
here
for more.
and people out here talk about like the debt, like how people talk about like the national debt, like, oh man, we
Yeah,
got a $30 trillion national deficit. Like, what y'all talking about, man? Like, this is a sports team, bro. Like, it's
yeah,
like this
it's
shit is
fine.
not going to cost your grandkids nothing. Like, chill out.
But
Right,
but the thing that's weird is that people treat it as if it's their money. And
Yeah,
it's a weird thing.
right.
that shit drive me to
And I think
crazy.
half of them they're so dug in now that one, they get engagement, and two, they have
Yeah,
to be right. Like they're
exactly,
gonna do
exactly.
it
Yes.
until it happens, which it never
Right.
will.
What is it? Like, what is it? Please tell me what
Right.
it is.
What
Like,
is
are
it
they gonna have to
what does
cut
it
the
look like?
entire roster? Like, what? Take
Right.
a season off? Like, what
So
is it?
I think the closest thing we probably saw to it was the season where like Darren Sproles got cut.
All the
Who else
old
got cut? Was it
heads, like
Malcolm Jenkins maybe?
Roman Harper,
Roman,
Vilma, I
yeah.
think.
Like that's as close recent we have recently seen to like it. And then like Darren Sproles. I said Darren Sharper. Oh my God. Ooh, God forgive me. Ooh, not tonight, Lord. Uh Darren Sproles then like goes to like Philadelphia and like still like has like two and a half great seasons.
Malcolm too.
Yeah, there
Malcolm
was
did
like 2
too.
years. I want to say like 15 and 16. Those were like the first 2 years where they said we ain't gonna go ham in free
Yeah,
agency. We just kind of gonna balance everything up,
right.
and then everything, and that's what you can do. Whenever they decide to do it, they could do that, and it's gonna be kind of a lean year, and then dead cap turned into cap space, and you keep going however you
Right.
want to go.
So on and so forth. And I don't even know if I want like them to sign Brian Burns like as a player. Probably so, but like I strictly just wanted just to see Twitter melt down, bro. I
I
want to
know
see.
that's
I
Oh
it.
want
yeah,
to see
that's
it.
the best part.
That's it, bro.
Like, I want them to spend the most money in free agency.
Right. I just want. I
How
want
is
Don't
like.
this
care who we get.
happening?
Don't care if it's the right
I
decision. I just want to
I
see the
I,
meltdown.
I at least want like a Chris Jones scheduled visit to Saints, like
Woo!
tweet. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Just to see
yeah,
people like how can they able to sign shit?
yeah.
It's reminiscent of when we signed Jarius Bird, and that signing didn't work out. But just the like laps I was able to like run around on Twitter when it did happen,
Bruh.
of people just
Oh
losing
man,
their fucking minds.
losing it, bro.
Um. Oh. Wayne said, "Please let us pay Josh Allen the pass rusher." Would love
I
that.
mean, he'll probably get tagged, right?
Yeah, he absolutely will. It's
Yeah,
just hypothetical.
Yeah, that'd be a good signing.
What
yeah.
it'd be a fantastic signing. Joey is also someone who is just super chill, has that optimism. Like he is one of the bus drivers. If you know what the bus is, you do. If you don't, you don't. Where does that like internal and external optimism of the team comes from?
I mean, I just watch this shit for fun. Like it's not my life, you know.
Right.
I mean, it's a big part of it, but what's the sense in rooting against your team or rooting to fail? Like, I want to see us win, and it's Super Bowl till it ain't, and that doesn't come till like 3/4 through the season. So
Damn, that's real.
just wanting to have fun, you know.
That's real.
But that Detroit game last year, boy, that bus
I
ran
mean,
off.
sometimes you get a flat tire, run out of gas, got to replace a part, but
An
we stay on it,
alternator.
you know? Yeah, yeah. It may not run well, but it's always running.
Speaking,
That bus,
okay, so I have a crazy story. On Friday, I was driving to work, and I saw this Tesla on the surface street, and on the right passenger side, it was missing 2 complete tires, guys. I'm not talking like it was. I'm saying that it was driving on the rims of the right passenger side, and it just kept driving. Just
I
kept
get it because
driving.
that was the bus this season. So
Yes, that was the analogy that I was making.
yeah, like I
2023
totally
Saints.
understand. Yep.
And like the emergency lights were on. I'm like, sir, can you pull over?
Like 2 tires? Like what?
Got a
Two
Super Bowl
right,
to get through.
two.
You just kept on going. I was just like, Los Angeles.
It was insane. I always like to ask our people who we bring on. This is you're our second guest we've had on the live show. Where does like the love of the Saints come from?
So growing up in Pennsylvania, I went through that phase where I just wanted to be contrarian when I was starting to get into football. You know, everyone was an Eagles fan or a Steelers fan or like
same.
some random
I get
Giants
it.
fans.
I get it.
And so I just kind of watched until something jumped out, and then Joe Horn pulled the cell phone out of the goalpost, and I was like, "That's the coolest fucking thing I've ever seen." So that's my
my
team.
team.
Sorry, can I
That's
curse?
my team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we
We're,
good
we're,
now.
we're yeah. You just can't curse
After
like in
dark.
the in the beginning.
But yeah, so that happened with Joe Horn, and then
Yeah.
fell in love ever since.
Ever since. That's crazy because
Yep.
I tell fans, like younger fans all the time, like you didn't even see the Saints on TV. Like if you were local to New Orleans, like yeah, you saw the games or whatever, but like you watch ESPN, they just wouldn't talk about the Saints, bro. Like it's just non-existent. And like when Joe Horn did that, and everybody was talking about it. Everybody.
Everybody.
All the hot takes, like, oh, this is just ridiculous. Why would he? But it was just crazy. Like, man, they talking about the Saints on national TV. I just remember being tripped out that people actually talking about the Saints. Because before that, the only time they talk about it was like the Ricky Williams trade.
Right.
And before that, really nothing else. Like it was just like nothing, bro.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Mike N in the stream says, or Mike N in the chat says, I'm the contrarian in the Midwest. All my family are Vikings fans. I just wanted a different kind of pain. I will say, Mike,
Well,
you
definitely
have
picked the right place
Right.
for pain.
you have seen your team win the Super Bowl though. The Vikings
Yup.
have not. So
Yeah.
I'll throw that out there. It's
Yeah,
funny
some
you say
pain.
Oh, for sure. The contrarian thing is interesting to me because being born and raised in Texas, I didn't pick the Saints because it was contrarian to everyone being Cowboys fans. It was like I just hated Cowboys fans. They were the growing up in the 90s in Texas, like the absolute, because think about how fans are about the Cowboys now. Now imagine them in the 90s when they were
man.
winning Super Bowls.
Bruh.
No, I get it because I definitely had like a picture in a Cowboys jersey before I was old enough to pick my own clothes. So
I got one
they
too,
were
bro.
another one up here. Yeah.
That picture would never be shown with me with the
Nope.
Deion Sanders 21 jersey on. I had the hat. I had the Cowboys hat with my name airbrushed on the side.
Oh.
Oh man.
Where's that picture
cut
at?
that part.
Oh no, boy! Oh man!
No, I'm not. I'm just saying, like, word just for posterity's sake.
Hey, my mom got it or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Make sure that bitch, lock that bitch away.
Lock it up. Lock it up.
Ralph's gonna send someone to your mom's house to steal the picture and get it posted on the internet, bro. Just
Nah, bro.
completely
I'm
kill
deleting my Twitter, bro.
You're gonna get canceled from Saints X.
Delete my Twitter, bro.
What's something that's kind of like had stood out to you about the community and everything that it's been so far? It's because it's been steady progression, and then it's been some influx or things like that. But just kind of what stood out to you?
Man, just how it brought so many people from so many places together. Like, I've met some of my best friends now from literally all over the world.
It's insane.
Like, that's the obvious thing. Obviously, it's a cool community. The Discord's a cool place to have like a smaller conversation with a group of people that don't all see things the same way, as far as how they approach the team and everything, or really any topic. But it's not somewhere where that gets out of control. So,
Right.
I mean, it's just that community aspect. Um, that's the most important thing to me.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy, bro. Like, just thinking about it, just with the first draft party we had in Las
Wow.
Vegas, it was like
Oh,
me,
yeah, man.
Adam,
I almost flew out for that.
my girl.
Day one.
Day one. It was a little small little group, man. And then to fast forward to the meetup, oh my God, it's just crazy.
It's wild every time.
And that was a Chris Olave draft. Chris Olave third pin draft.
Yep.
In Vegas. What are your thoughts about this team? Like, I know draft hasn't happened, free agency hasn't happened, but where are you at right now, regards to like all the offensive changes, offensive additions?
Super Bowl or bust.
There it is.
No, I mean, that's all we ask. Just rehaul the offense. You're not getting rid of DA. His defenses are fine. So, I mean, I have no complaints. I don't have enough data to form an opinion. Like you said, we got to see free agency, what happens in the draft, what the offense looks like when it's installed. But everything we've asked for has happened so far.
Yeah, man. I mean, especially on the offensive staff, I can't complain at all, man. Like what they did,
can't, bro.
What they did, go and get, identifying what type of offense they wanted, and the staff they put behind Clint Kubiak seems like they just let him pick his guys, and
right.
I mean, they got a nice mix of like crunchy old veteran coaches, and they got, and they got like some nice progressive young coaches that's on the come up, like a wide receiver coach they got. So it's a nice little mix, you know what I'm saying? Because some of them old coaches, man, they don't know how to deal with these Gen Z players, you know what I'm saying? Like some of these young players, they different, you know what I'm saying? You can't just curse them out like you used to, you know?
Right.
You got to deal with them a little different, you know? So it's gonna be interesting, bro. Like,
man,
like you said, we have no data to base it on, but just from this standpoint, it's like, oh, good job, Saints. Like,
yeah, there's at least options in the road that could lead to a big leap.
Right.
I mean, down to even just the roster as it is, like this new scheme might unlock some players that maybe haven't performed up to potential. Like thinking about the offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, the one thing they do is draft athletic offensive linemen. So they may be better off in this new scheme.
Yeah,
but
man.
I mean, again, we won't know until we see it.
And I think, and I don't know anything, I haven't heard anything, but I wonder if these changes, if they had a feeling or inkling on like trading a player, if now with these changes and these new offensive coaches and Clint Kubiak, he goes to DA, he goes to Mickey Loomis, or he just says like, nah, like don't trade AK, don't trade Taysom Hill. Like I wonder how much impetus these changes has in the personnel decisions offensively on the team, because I would find that aspect of it extremely fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, you would think that they weren't set in stone on a trade or anything like that prior to knowing what the coaching was going to be, or coaching was going to
Hopefully.
look like.
Right.
You would hope. I mean, obviously, you have the situations where there's like behind the scenes shit happening.
Right.
But I think like, there's some smoke around AK. He just doesn't hit me like the type of player that would cause that kind of rupture to the point where they would want to trade him for that reason.
Right.
And he
right.
doesn't really hit me as the type to like demand a trade. Like he seems happy enough, But we'll see. I mean, that would suck.
It
But
would.
yeah.
It would.
Yeah.
Trying to think. Taysom Hill. That's one interesting thing to me because a lot of talk been going on about that one. Like, what role will he play, if at all? How will Clint Kubiak view him? I'm pushing the agenda of Taysom Hill equals Kyle Juszczyk. Like,
Yeah.
no, they're not the same player, obviously, but like when you look at what Kyle Shanahan did with Juszczyk, and you can call him a fullback, but he used him as like everything. Like, and he
Everything, man.
used him as like a focal point to dictate what the defense does from a personnel standpoint, to force
Yeah.
defenses in the base looks, to force them to look a certain way, and give the concept of play action without actually running play action, which was the weirdest
Right.
thing you ever see. Like, without
Yeah.
actually doing play action, you get the effect of what play action to do to a defense just from the way he used Kyle Juszczyk and the way the action happened with the motion and the quarterback and all that stuff.
That's
It's
fascinating.
crazy.
Man.
It's like, I'm like, man, like Kyle is on some shit. So if
Yeah.
I'm hoping Clint was just writing all that shit down, bro. Like, I'm like, hey, take some of this shit.
The opposite of Pete Carmichael with Sean Payton, bro.
Pete wasn't writing nothing down, bro. Pete just back there just chilling.
Nothing. He was actually erasing the shit that was written down. No, but I think like that point about him being Juszczyk, I've actually seen that a lot, and I think you could take the name off it. Like, if Kubiak is what you hope he is, he takes from Shanahan like pieces, playmakers. Like Taysom is a playmaker. So even if it's not the Juszczyk role, you'd think he's the type of player that he would want to have to toy around with.
Exactly.
And something that I said this in the Discord a couple of days ago, but it would be nice for Taysom, assuming he's on the team, remains on the team, that he be utilized in a way where it basically isn't telegraphing to the defense every time. Like, Taysom's going to be running with the ball. It's going to be quarterback. Like, can we be a little more creative? Like, he's such a playmaker, creative in how he's utilized, where basically like when the defense sees him, they don't automatically know what he's going to do, which in theory should open him up more.
Yeah.
Like it I don't feel like I'm asking for a lot.
No.
Jordan Jones asks, are we re-signing Andrus Peat? I don't, and then Elise said please, and I don't know if Elise is saying please to us resigning Andrus Peat or the Taysom point. Why not both? I don't know.
Why not both?
Pete?
You would think so. I mean, but we don't know. Like,
let me put it like this: if you're the Carolina Panthers, and I know they drafted Icky or whatever on the left tackle, but if you see Pete played as well as he did, like, why wouldn't you throw like a bag at him to play like right tackle? If part of your impetus on improving Bryce Young is making sure he gets good protection, like all it takes is just one team. And I know his track record is very limited in how he played at left tackle this season, but the snaps he played and the games he played was a high level left tackle, man.
I mean, he's a player that teams would want, regardless of how we feel about him and the jokes we crack and everything. Like, he's an NFL player on the offensive line, which every team needs. So I think it'll just come down to, like, is he comfortable here? Or is he just going to take whatever the Saints offer him? Because I'm sure they'll get first offer. If not, then he's probably gone.
Wherever he eating
like, he's not a player will overpay, I don't think. I'll probably eat
like wherever he eating at New Orleans, they gotta like give him some of the extra food. Be like, hey, bro, you want this out on this hill,
another cane, aren't they?
That raise a cane across the street, you can just
right next to it
anytime you want.
Come on in, Pete.
We build a whole new cafeteria for you, brother.
Exactly. That's what the renovations are for.
It's about you.
Yep.
Okay, Pete.
The character growth we've seen from Andrus Peat has been amazing. It really has
Amazing,
been.
bro. I mean, he was left for dead last year, bro. Left for dead. Took a pay cut.
Pay cut.
He just said, "Sit your ass down." You ain't. And then he came in and just took that left tackle and ran with it, bro.
Starred, bro. He was starred in the position. Just crazy.
Crazy.
Ryan, you tweeted this earlier about your thoughts of offensive line on Twitter.
Yeah.
What overall? I mean, I know what they are, but just overall thoughts for maybe people who didn't see the tweet.
Yeah. I mean, basically, I was just saying, because looking at mock drafts and stuff, everybody has OT as a major need, and it is a need. Like the Saints need offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? Offensive tackle. You got ram check. It depends on what spectrum you look at out of it. Do you view ram check as most likely retiring? Pete's a free agent, so he's most likely not coming back. Penning is just a huge question. We have no depth. If you view it like that, yes, Saints need to go and get an OT ASAP. But if you bring back Pete, keep communication up with Ram. He depends. He wants to come back. We know that. Like his knee, we'll see.
His knee doesn't want to come back.
Right? He wants to come back. What does his knee want?
Come back.
Knee, like I don't know. But then you got players like Landon Young, who I think what was the Giants game? I think
it was the Giants game against Kayvon Thibodeau.
Looked fine. Limited snaps, but he looked fine. Is it something to build off? Maybe. Nick Saldiveri, no idea. Dude barely played last year, and then he was hurt. So I don't know what he is, but maybe the offensive line coach, the QBack, and all them, they look at him and say, "Hey, this is from everything I hear. Dude's like super smart and stuff like that." So maybe that's something this staff can get out of him. So maybe it's not a huge need. Maybe it's something where you could patch and get working, and then by the draft time, you could just go for your best player instead of just saying we need because that's what got us in the mess with Penning.
Yeah,
bruh.
Needed OT.
It feels almost like deja vu, does it not?
Right.
A little bit. Sorry to interrupt. We got a contribution, a super chat from our dude Justin. He says, "What is your free agent wish list?"
Ooh.
Are we talking realistic free agent wish list, or are we talking like just balls to the walls free agent? Because that it changes the wish list.
Do both.
Okay, all right. So, our guest Joey, give me your realistic wish list and give me your balls to the walls free agent wish list.
Man, I just get good players. Get an edge.
I need names.
Fill out. Oh man. You know who's Bryce Huff? Bryce Huff is someone I would be interested in. He's a free agent this year, right? From the Jets.
Oh, that's
Jets.
So he's one around the NFL guys we're talking about. He's the type of player where he was winning constantly, but just wasn't getting the numbers. So he's the guy that you might get an 18 sack guy, I think they said. So he's potential. We've had success with Jets free agents.
That's true.
I like that.
That's true. That's
I mean, really, honestly, just look at edge is the biggest thing for me. Other than that, one question I have is who's the dog on the offense? Who's going to be the one to bring that edge with Mike not there? So I don't know who that would be, but if there's someone available that has demonstrated that, I'd like someone like that.
That Bryce Huff one was good. Ryan, give me your wish list.
Trying to think. Like Joey was saying, edge is a big one. We talked about the Ravens, Metabuke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
another good one.
Yeah.
But he did he get tagged? He did get tagged.
Has he got tagged already, or
no? He didn't. I don't think he got tagged yet, but he's kind of
more than likely to get tagged.
More than likely to get tagged. But that's one that I like. If they could just knock the edge out, even if it's not like a top of the market defensive end, but just get another pass rusher in there, it'll just kind of alleviate a lot of pressure. Because, I mean, man, bro, we going in there depending on Peyton Turner and, like, Big Creep. Like, props to Big Creep. He came through, but that's our lead sack getter right now. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Cam
I mean,
Jordan,
like, if we were in play for anyone, obviously you look at the big names like Chase Young. He's not tagged, right? Is he going to get tagged?
No.
That's the one
Danielle
person
Hunter.
I would stay away from.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he does
I mean,
scare me. He scared me.
Burns, we talked about. I would like Burns.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, if they were going to spend big, I would want it to be on, like, one of the younger guys that's a name.
Right.
As opposed to going out and, like, blowing your load for Jones if he hits the market. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I just don't want to see them spend a lot of money and remain old.
That's good. I'm gonna give. This is my balls to the walls free agent. I'm gonna give you two. I'm gonna go Danielle Hunter. He is older, but there was a lot of interest in trading for him like before the season, I believe. Obviously, there's an LSU connection, and because he is older, I think with him you can get him on a deal that's like obviously like a shorter deal, like a 1 or 2 year deal, that may not be exorbitantly expensive because he's older in his age. And then I'm going Tyler Boyd. Those are the two.
Okay.
Give me Danielle Hunter, give me Tyler Boyd, and then that should in theory open up the complete rest of what you have to do, the rest of free agency, and not only the rest of free agency, but also in the draft. Our dude Jordan had a question.
One more name.
Go ahead.
What do you guys think about this Davenport dude from Minnesota?
This man out my face.
That should be funny as hell, bro.
No, it fucking would not. Why are we putting that? I'm like triggered right now.
What about Clowney, bro? What about Clowney? They was ready to trade.
It's got to happen eventually, right? You hear about Clowney every year. Whenever his last year is, when he's going to retire like mid-year, that's when we're getting him. That might be this year.
And he was a dog for the Ravens too.
Bro, he was looking outstanding in those games. Jordan, after Justin asked, with Mike Thomas being gone, do you see the Saints going for a wide receiver in the free agency or the draft?
I'm thinking draft.
I mean, they're going to get somebody, probably not like a big name, but
like the
don't
Hunter
know
Renfro,
how needed it is to invest heavily.
I don't know if they'll try to do like, oh hey Derek, look, we got Hunter Renfro for you, like that type of appeasement.
That would be the least shocking signing.
It would be so least shocking
for that for an entire season now.
And then Jordan brought up Jordan Jones in the chat brought up a great name that I brought up an episode or multiple episodes ago, and just Jordan Brooks, Seahawks linebacker who was injured. I just feel like that could just be like a sneaky, like good signing, because he at least brings speed and athleticism to the defense that desperately needs it.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could, like with him, like you don't feel like it's like necessarily pushing like Pete Werner out of a job, but it's putting him on notice for sure.
Yes.
This is Werner's last year of his contract. Yeah.
Yep. Good questions to chat. People got very triggered also by the Davenport thing in the chat because they thought Joey was being serious.
Just making sure everyone's awake. Oh yeah, if you don't know me, like all I do is crack jokes, so take nothing I say seriously.
Jerry said it seriously. Davin hurt.
Bro, funny as shit, bro. Me and Joey, we was at the Bears game, and Joey was like, we was like, man, let's go get a smoke. Halftime, bro, we was so fucking lost, bro.
So lost.
We ended up like at the very top of the dome, like at the top. We like,
an elevator.
We got on the elevator that only went up. Like, they look at it, didn't go down. It only went up. It's like,
Yep.
and we're like on the roof of the dome, bro. Like, what
Yeah. This was not where we were trying to go.
we just couldn't figure out how to get to the bottom so we could go outside and smoke. We eventually got down, bro, but it felt like forever. We missed like half the game, like the complete second half. We missed, bro. We just
I forgot about that. That was ridiculous.
we were just so fucking lost, bro.
Elevator was nice though.
It's a nice elevator.
Draft wise, I don't know if how tuned into the draft Joey is, but any thoughts on the draft?
Just get a contributor. That's
Any
about it.
positions?
Like,
Joey ain't watched no
care.
tape, bro.
no, I'll wait for all the reports to start coming about who we get links to, and then I'll start reading about them. But then I'll call the pick on draft night.
You're right.
That's facts.
Our dude Mark says Bowers.
Hey,
Yeah, that'd be sick if he's there.
I think he will be. That's the thing, is I think he will be there, and like listening to like the DJ thing. It really, a lot of it is the positional value of like how teams view the tight end position. He also kind of brought up the Kyle Pitts thing, kind of like not working out, as causing teams to be a little hesitant in drafting a tight end that high. So I think he will be there.
So my one thing about the draft, they're not going to draft a quarterback. Like,
no,
I don't think they would, even if one fell
in the first round at least. No.
Yeah, exactly. I just don't want to see them pay to move up. There's no position that I think you're in need of to a point where you need to spend to get into the top 10 or whatever. Like, just don't do something like that. That's all I want for this draft. Just make your pick, or in a dream scenario, trade back.
We know that ain't happening.
Right. Not happening. But yeah, just don't spend more assets to move up for someone that's not like an absolute game changer.
And they already have limited assets, you know.
Right.
Especially in this draft. Like, it is extremely limited. Yeah. Let's our dude Q, I want to need you to put your name in the chat like phonetically, so I can knock that out. Same thing to go BPA at 14 and try to get to trade back into the third round if you can for need. I mean, I think they need to go BPA. Like, here's the crazy thing. If you just look at like the Ravens of how they draft, and sometimes then the Bengals used to for sure do this too. Mm-hmm. They just always, especially the Ravens to this day, they just go BPA. That's just how they draft. Whoever the best player is, hold on. Quo Vadis. No, that's not Covadis. Okay, yes, thank you. That's just how they do it, and it's led to them being like one of the best teams in the NFL. So like it's so weird how like people, like teams don't see like what the blueprint is and they don't try to follow it. But also too, it also depends on like scouting. Like every team has different scouting metrics, and so all that. But it's very obvious when a team drafts for need and they don't draft for best player available. Now sometimes that works out because the player that they draft for need, that player is great and it hits that need and everything fits in. But I always kind of go back to the whole Lions with Panay and with Jamar Chase. Like that's the thing where it was need and to them was BPA, and it's worked out for both teams all involved. Thank you, Falcons. But the debate is it's never ending. It really is never ending.
Didn't the Bengals get lit up for taking Chase? I can't remember.
No, it was the opposite. The Lions got lit up more for not taking Chase.
Oh,
if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just get good players, bro. It works out, man.
I swear it does.
Just get another Brazil.
So I'm saying that was a situation where BPA.
Man, that's a great point.
Where BPA met need. They needed DT, but you know, you looked at
and like he didn't blow anyone out of the water, but like he showed potential and he was reliable. He won the starting job. That's all.
When I watched Bresee played his rookie season, I did not need to squint to see it.
No.
Exactly. He was like, oh,
No,
he popped
not
off
at
the
all.
he popped off the screen. You're like, oh, proceed,
Right.
you know, to the point where you feel like, okay, another year coaching or two, boom, we got something here,
Yep.
you know.
Mike N says a great value will fall to us at 14 because all the first round quarterbacks this year, if Mickey can just chill and wait it out. So, so this draft in the top 10, you're going to have 3 quarterbacks go in the top 10. You're going to have more than likely 3 wide receivers with Marvin Harrison Jr., Rome, and likely neighbors.
Neighbor.
So that's 6.
Right.
Yeah.
I haven't brought up any offensive tackles. There
You
is
got a
going to
ton of
be
those.
there is going to be a player there at 14. Can they just
Yeah.
draft the right one?
Right.
Please.
You could possibly see 4 quarterbacks go in like the top, you know, top 12. You know what I'm saying? Like
Ooh, who
AJ,
you putting? You put,
AJ
ooh,
McCarthy,
JJ?
JJ, baby, my dude,
You know
right
how
there.
draft season goes. There's always quarterbacks that rise up.
But I
Always,
don't think
man.
for him, I don't think it's like even a rise though. Like the
Yeah.
JJ McCarthy stuff is all like. But you're right. It is. Yeah, I think teams are higher on him than like draft people.
The draft
are.
community. Right, yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. I can't. I don't know, Ryan. I
He's
gotta
a
watch
he's
it
a
more.
squint. He's a squint. He's a squint. Go against my principle of squinting. That's so you shouldn't squint. But you
Thought that
got to
man was
squint
about.
with him.
Okay, we can say that in February, but but in March we can't say that. We got to wait till April to bring that back. I don't. I gotta watch more of him. I gotta watch more. I'll leave it.
Bro, you stick with what you feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, I thought the same thing. Like, I remember, I think it was you asked me somebody like, "What you think of Gigi?" And I just was going off what I
Oh,
saw,
it was not me.
and I was just like, I made like a third rounder. You know what I'm saying? That's what I thought he was. But then I started seeing some things, and I was like, oh, he could actually play. But it's a projection. It's a projection. Like you have
Huge.
to project him being
Man, you could be a
good
GM.
because, huh?
You could be a GM. He said, man,
No.
there's a couple things. He's the guy. I could do it.
I always wanted like to see if like you could crowdsource a draft. You know what I'm
Oh
saying?
man,
Like just
that
like
would
let
be
Twitter, the draft community, whatever you want to do it, and just crowdsource a draft. One
be
team just
fascinating,
says,
bro.
"Fuck it, we're gonna go off what the crowd is saying," and I just see how it works. This
Yeah.
shit might be a disaster
Yeah,
because a lot of times we call it up. Go ahead.
it'd be
I would
fun.
love that. I would love that, bro. I would love it. Godly Warrior says, I know we can restructure these guys, but we want to get younger and not keep so many old guys. Yes, big time.
I got one
mean-
more off-season move that I need to require.
What's that?
Talk to me.
Got to bring the bonfire back and keep
Uh-oh.
him on the edge.
Yeah,
Please, please,
it
please.
should be so easy, bro. It should be so easy.
So easy.
Don't ask that man to drop into coverage. Don't ask that man to do anything that he is not skilled to do.
Strictly
was like-
pass rush.
It was one of my top 5 favorite moments of last season when they had him pass rushing, and he got a sack and he did the Jordan shrug. Like I was like, well,
Who knew? Who knew?
Me.
I knew.
Everybody knew,
My guy.
except the
Everyone.
Saints.
Oh,
That
so
was incredible.
Lob 32 CD says Brandon Rice in the second round or trading back into the third. He's Ayuk but better. So because Rice went to USC, I've seen quite a bit of his game. He reminds me of I can't think of the US receiver I liked a lot. That was like underrated. He's very talented. He is a very talented. He's that's the son of Jerry Rice, right? Yeah, son of Jerry
Yeah.
Rice. Very
I
talented.
was watching Troy Franklin, Oregon. Ooh, that boy fast. He speed. We might have too much speed with Crystal Olave and G, but I'm like, man.
I mean, that's how Mike Daniels has not built has built his offense, has he not?
Yeah.
Like, that's all.
Exactly.
It's
That's
speed, bro.
Speed,
kills.
bro.
Waddle, child abuser, like it's all across the field.
Yep.
That's another one. I don't know, man. It's gonna be an interesting draft, bro, because there's a lot of offensive skill there. Not running backs. There's some good running backs, but not early. Like you could a lot of late guys.
That
It's
might be the only position outside of like center that I'd be like, what the fuck are they doing drafting that position?
a
Like
running back.
obviously it depends on the player, but running back.
It depends on
I
AK
mean in
to
the
me.
first. I mean in the first.
Yeah, the
Oh
first. Oh
yeah,
no, no, hell no, yeah, no.
But
I
yeah, I
would
think
like to
we
add
could
some.
use
I would
players
like.
anywhere.
Yeah, I would like to add a running back at some point with some juice. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That just I don't know. Even if it's just like somebody that gets 8 snaps a game or something like that, but somebody that could just take one to the house, bro. Like we had like no 20-yard runs last year.
Right.
Like we just need somebody with some pop. And obviously, like AK, he could probably still do that if you block well and all that stuff. But just somebody that could kind of create out there,
right.
and bust something open.
Um, Jordan Jones says, "What would you say is who would you say is this year's AT Perry?" I have no idea. I have not dug into this draft enough to even have remotely an idea. Godly Warrior says, "What type of money would you pay Shaheed?"
It's a good
Luckily,
question.
yeah, it is. Luckily, the Saints don't have to worry about that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he a ERFA this year, so
Yeah, he's
they
basically the
just have
same
to
thing as Jawan Jennings is.
yeah, just like offer him like a minimum contract, and he's like, we can't go nowhere. But after
Yeah.
that, it would be interesting to see how they approach it because will they approach him like, man, we got this dude undrafted, we could find another one, or will it be like he's a key contributor to the team, so let's
Yeah.
make him a so we'll see. But he a
Last,
dog, man. I pay him.
he is, man. He is. Mark
Yeah.
says Boston Scott is a free agent.
Bring him back.
It is late where our dude Joey is. Last question from our dude Mitch, because of course it is. Can we just keep AK? I can't see what it says.
Wait,
And
you're
get
telling me
rid.
Mitch was late to the chat?
Mitch said, "Oh, just logged in, bro."
Can we just keep AK with Miller and get rid of Anime Man? Oh, Jamal Williams. Got that man his touchdown. Let's get him get him out of
Like
here,
you
bro.
make a wish kid or something, bro. Just want to get him a touchdown.
Man, I like Jamal.
I mean, I can like him from afar. Elise says, "Bless his heart."
Talk to him, Elise. Look, all I'm saying is when he had a well-schemed running offense, he led the league in touchdowns. All right?
Just saying.
Just saying.
I don't know.
I don't know, man. He looked like even the offensive line struggles, man. He just looked incredibly fucking slow out there. Like, and when
Yeah.
you're running back, bro, you slow, bro. Like that is tough sledding. Tough
Just got to
sledding.
scheme him. Just got to scheme
Scheme it up. Scheme it up, baby.
Joey, thank you for coming on and joining us, man. It's late as shit there. Thanks for being on here, chopping it up with us, bro. And just thank you for being such like a pillar of our community, man. Without you, you are the definition of like the vibe check of the community. And the vibes aren't
Yeah.
there. You make sure that the vibes get there. And we love you. We appreciate you, and just thank you for all your support and just being cool as shit, man.
Yeah, it's an honor. Love you guys. Appreciate the kind words and inviting me on here.
Hell yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So again, thank everyone in the chat for the questions, for joining us. I think we got what our max we got is 22 concurrent viewers, got 58 views total. And then we've been getting like great views like afterwards. Like people like go back and watch the live shows like a lot, which is great. So thank y'all so much. Mark asked Joey, are you coming up for the draft meetup?
Never say never.
Hey man, let's make it happen,
We'll
bro.
see.
If anybody watching, if you haven't watched or listened to the last episode with Matt Harmon,
Please,
Oh, it was so good.
go back and watch it. Good
Please.
as shit. All them little
Please.
draft questions you got, go back and watch it, man. It was awesome.
Matt was incredible. So the YouTube of the Matt episode is not performing as of our other YouTube. So please watch, listen. It fantastic, just a fantastic like football porn nerdy podcast that you will definitely love to hear. Go back and watch that if you haven't. We will be back this upcoming week talking about what, I don't know, we'll figure it out. But thank you for watching, the support. We love y'all, we appreciate y'all. With that, we're out.
Peace.
So early, and then I was late.